I'm very honored to be able to introduce John Hennessey tonight. John grew up in Huntington, New York, in a town which I think may have been a little bit similar to Palo Alto on Long Island in the 1950s and 1960s, and he met his lovely wife, who is right here in front of us, working at the local market, where John was a stock boy and Andrea was the smarter one on the cash register. Things haven't changed in their family since then. After receiving a bachelor's degree from Villanova and a master's degree and a PhD degree from the State University of New York in Stony Brook, they came to Stanford in 1977, where John began his academic career as an assistant professor in the School of Engineering. He rose quickly on the academic ladder, becoming the dean of the school in 1996, provost of the university in 1999, and president in the year 2000, and now in his 13th year as president. And we all have a wish that he's going to beat John Levin, who is just retiring after 20 years at Yale. But I'm not going to ask him to comment on that. Along the way, he developed a new architecture for programming computers, which at the time was revolutionary, but today it's even more interesting to me anyway, that that same technology that he developed is being used in cell phones and supercomputers. He became an entrepreneur, founded a very successful computer company, and he co-authored 2 textbooks on architectural design. John's leadership at Stanford includes providing undergraduate financial aid for students whose family's income is under $100,000. And for families with income below $60,000, there is no tuition charge or room and board charge. And that's a really remarkable thing. I also noticed in my mail today, or email or somewhere, it came across that Stanford's current acceptance for the next class coming next fall was only 7% of the applicants made it through. I think there were like 4,000 or 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 applications, and only 7% were given the green light to come. So it's a very competitive place. They're attracting the best and brightest from around the country and around the world. The campus has been transformed with a new science and engineering quad, the Clark Center, which houses the BioX, a cross-school collaborative research center, the Laurie Lokay Stem Cell Research Building, which is the largest facility devoted to stem cell research in the country and I believe in the world. And under John, he has led renewal of the medical center with the construction of the Li Kai-shing Center for Learning and Knowledge, which houses the School of Medicine, and now under construction and nearing completion is the big addition to the Packard Children's Hospital, and soon to be constructed with groundbreaking in May will be the new Stanford Hospital. With this expansion, the university has developed an extensive transportation program to reduce traffic on campus. He's seen to it that the energy and water use has been reduced, and it moved many programs and support personnel off campus to reduce traffic on campus. President Kennedy has led the initiative to create an art center on the campus. This is from an engineer with a real passion for the arts, a real interest in the arts. And recently, the Bing Center, or concert hall, was completed, and I hope, how many of you have been to the Bing Concert Center? Well, that's wonderful, and I hope the rest of you will all have a chance to go in the near term. The hall was just completed, and it is a truly spectacular facility and brings a whole new area of entertainment and excitement to the community. A new building is currently under construction to house the Anderson collection. This collection is the most outstanding private collection of post-World War II American art in the world. It will contain 121 permanent pieces, which is the core of the collection. The Andersons have been in the Atherton, Palo Alto area for the last 40 years, and the collection has all been collected while they were here. In addition, President Hennessey has led the university's decision to build a new hospital to replace much of the existing hospital, which was built in the 1950s. If you can believe this, I can remember being in the fields behind where the shopping center is now, all the way up towards the hills, and it was nothing but dirt and gravel and a field. And so I find it just amazing that when the hospital did move down in the late 50s, it is now 50 years old and is not up to date. And so at a cost of $2 billion, the new hospital will provide the largest and latest technologies for patient care and treatment. All of this has been done with John's strong support. And these are only a small number of the programs and facilities that the President has overseen in his 12, 13 years at the helm. And it is clear that these and so many other accomplishments have brought local, national, and international recognition to Palo Alto and the surrounding community. As we look at John's accomplishments, it is clear that he has been a good partner for the city of Palo Alto, and this too is reflected in the recent approvals the city has given to many of the projects I just mentioned. John, it is a great privilege and honor to present you with the award that you have certainly had an enormous positive impact on both the university and the community.
Thank you, John. That was indeed an introduction that my father would be proud of and my mother would believe. But I really owe it to all the incredible people that I've had the opportunity to work with over the years, the faculty and staff of the university who are so dedicated to our students. We've had the benefit of working with so many people, the community leaders who've helped us get this new hospital built. And this was a very easy project. All you had to say to somebody is, would you like to go into a hospital built in 1959 where the rooms aren't air conditioned and you share them with somebody you don't know? That made the decision a lot easier. Of course, as Sheryl Sandberg in her recent talk, Lean In, about her new book, Lean In, that she gave at Stanford, was giving advice, and she said, one of the most important decisions that you'll make in your life is the person to be your life partner. And I made the right decision there many years ago. Palo Alto and Stanford share a long history. That famous tree, El Palo Alto, is the center of both the city seal and the university's seal. As John mentioned, we came to Palo Alto in 1977 from the East Coast. I came out to interview in March. Still the best time to have people from the East Coast interview. And I remember Andre and I are flying back, and we said, you know, if I possibly get an offer from Stanford, we're going. It was reinforced by the fact that as we landed at Kennedy, there was a sleet storm going on. So we made that decision, and we've made this our home, this greater Palo Alto area, for more than 3 decades. Actually, when it came time to buy a house, we actually couldn't afford to buy a house in Palo Alto, but we found one in Menlo Park, which cost $120,000. That's not the down payment, that was the price of the house. But boy, did that seem like a fortune 34 years ago. It really did. Later on, as we prepared for the birth of our first son, we moved to Palo Alto so our children would have access to the outstanding schools we're so fortunate to have here. So I'm deeply honored to be the first recipient of the Tall Tree Global Impact Award. And I especially appreciate the incredible honor to be the first recipient of this important award. When I came to Stanford, I came to pursue my dual passions in teaching and research. And my career and my interests and my family have all been nurtured by this community over the years. That local environment has actually changed us. I'm a New Yorker. If you grow up in New York and you drive in New York City, one of the lessons you learn is that the horn and brakes should be applied equally. You move to California and you discover a little patience and a little respect goes a long way, and the horn is almost never necessary anymore. It's a great lesson. But it's affected both of us. My wife freezes when we go back to New York if the temperature hits 40 now. So we've really grown accustomed to this environment. Of course, living in this area, I breathed the atmosphere of entrepreneurism that is everywhere and learned about thinking big, swallowing that potion that says you really can change the world and do something remarkable that affects people. So I've had the opportunity, as John mentioned, to found companies, nurture young entrepreneurs, and watch this area become the technology center of the world, which it wasn't. When I first came, if you wanted to go talk to the movers and shakers in the computer industry, HP was still moving into the computer industry, but still a small company in that. You had to get on a plane and fly to Boston or fly to New York. Now they all fly here to visit us. That's a remarkable change. And the symbiotic relationship between the community, the university, and the valley has been absolutely crucial to make that happen. One of the reasons we've succeeded is not only this inventive atmosphere that exists at the university, but because this is an absolutely delightful place to live. And that's one of the things that's really helped us recruit the best and brightest people from around the world. And I think moving forward, we all share a belief in the importance of extending this wonderful trajectory, making sure that Palo Alto and the Valley will be the 21st century place to be and to live. And we have our challenges, of course. We have things to do, but we have much to build on. But we have to focus on the core values that really matter. Excellence in education. We're blessed to have great Palo Alto schools, but we don't have to look very far away to see communities whose schools are really struggling to deliver a decent education to their kids. And I believe that this country owes every young person a decent education. We need to continue to be leaders in environmental sustainability. We want this to be a community that we can pass on to our children and our grandchildren with pride. That means we have to lead, not only through the research we do at the university, but by being role models and thinking about our practice and how we move forward in sustainability. Strength and vibrance in the arts are the mark of a truly great community. Palo Alto and Silicon Valley should aspire to have the best in the arts. We've been blessed by many things. My wife and I have been long consumers of theater works. As John mentioned, we have the new Bing Concert Hall. You should see what a difference a concert hall makes like that when you call up a world-famous musician and say, won't you come out and perform at our concert hall? It didn't work so well with the old Mamod. And of course, with the Anderson collection, we're going to have a world-class collection to add to what we already have at Cantor with the Rodin collection and other parts of that. And building a great hospital is simply part of making this community better. The older I get, the more I care about having great health care. So together, I think much has been accomplished and much more can be done. Thank you for honoring me and the work we do at the university with this inaugural Tall Tree Global Impact Award. I look forward to working with all of you to ensure that our community remains a leader, not only in innovation, but also in the quality of life we offer the people who live here. Thank you.